Reaver. Sorry I haven't visited. I'm ashamed, but then at least I've been extraordinary times. We've got heroes in the valley, Evie. Like out of the tales you used to read to Ina. I think you would like them. There's a girl, her name is Winnie. She'd be about Rima's age. I think they would have gotten along. You would have liked her too. She's very funny. Let's see, there's also an elf, Artemis. He's a better shot than me with a bow. I've got no shame in admitting. Kaz is a real bruiser. She's a half-orc I'd hate to run afoul of. I almost feel bad for the devil. And if you can believe it, there's even a dragon among them. His name is Drogar, and he can be a bit preachy, but he's a wise soul. He's helped me through a lot already. I wish more than anything you could have met them all. I wish you were here to see what we're doing together. Those visions of free Zenobia we'd conjure up late at night don't seem so much like dreams anymore. You though, my love, your work is done. I'll see to the end of it, I promise. I'll clear us a space safe for dreaming. You just rest now and fill it up when I'm done. I love you, Reaver. Hey Dungeoneers, thanks so much for joining us for another episode of the Strahdcast. If you like what we do here, remember to follow us on YouTube or subscribe via your favorite podcast app to get notified every time we release new episodes. Thanks again, and take your listen with advantage. When last we left our heroes, Zuleika the werewolf told them of her plight. Her love and the former alpha of the pack, Emil, was trapped in Strahd's castle, and she proposed they break him free. Though she proved wary, the party was able to negotiate a fragile alliance with her, at least for now. Leaving Kresk to return to Vallaki after a long time away, they were again ambushed by the pack, though their dogged pursuit proved no match for Dimitri's wall of fire. Back in Vallaki, the city seems to be changing, with palisades and guard towers being constructed along the walls. What else has changed within Vallaki? Find out now on the Strahdcast. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Shuffle off this mortal coil and transport yourselves to the far, foggy realm of Barovia. Vallaki's very changed. You're seeing this scaffolding up on the walls. It stretches as far as you can see in either direction. It looks like they're either repairing the walls or adding to the fortifications, or there's work being done. And so Lars let you in, the doors closed behind you, we're back in Vallaki, and that's where we left off. Mm-hmm. If you want to check in with anybody in Vallaki, you're more than welcome to. If you want to blow right through, that is your prerogative. All of Vallaki is available to you. The time is yours.
What time of day is it?
That's a great question. At this point, I think we're probably, we left in the morning, so I think probably like 5 or 6 hours, so we're probably around midday.
I want to buy some rope. Because I'm out of rope.
Yes, good call.
I'm at the end of my rope.
Let's buy lots and lots of rope.
Artemis needs a new bow also.
Yes.
Although you have the crossbow if you want to just...
That's true. Yeah. And I've been flirting with the idea of maybe trying to get some armor, because I've been using unarmored defense this whole time, which is like, very cool and flavorful, and I just love the idea of Kaz just not giving a shit. But also my AC is pretty low. I think maybe I should get some armor. Part of that is that my dex bonus is not very high.
We have lots of money. Should we wait though? And do you think the barbarian or the berserkers can make better armor for
Almost certainly. Yeah,
and
I would
cheaper,
imagine so.
probably.
Also, I have something resembling brand loyalty to the berserker.
Right, yeah, absolutely, yeah. I only patronize businesses that are run by hot people.
Yes.
For your own edification, Kay, just as a barbarian, you are only proficient in light and medium armor, but that is fine, because you don't have a high dex bonus anyway.
Yeah, hardened leather.
So medium armor is actually probably your best bet. If you only have like a +2 or something in dex, medium armor is your best bet.
That's what I was looking at.
That'll give you
maybe some medium.
So so the way it works, light armor is a base number plus your dex. The best is studded leather armor at 13 plus your dex. Medium armor gives you a max cap of your dex bonus of 2, but you can get like 14, 15, 14, 15,
I think hardened leather
15,
is like 15,
I think is the highest, plus dex, so you can get up to
17. Plate armor doesn't use your dex or heavy armor doesn't use your dex at all, but the base numbers are really high, with full plate being the best at 18.
But heavy also comes with, well, maybe not all of it, but it comes with penalties.
Some of it does.
Heavy comes, I'm already doing that now with chainmail, full chainmail. A disadvantage on stealth.
Yes.
Question. We said we were going to do something here, right? Didn't we say...
You had wanted to bring Vasilka to the Blue Water.
Right, we were going to bring Vasilka to the Blue Water, and then we were going to head on to Strahd's castle. We opted not to go to the Berserkers yet.
Yes.
Second question. I faintly remember when we fought Lady Wachter that the Baron was dressed in a regal suit of armor.
He had a breastplate.
Oh, it was just a breastplate?
It was just a breastplate.
Shit.
Why?
He had a rapier at his side and his mastiffs.
Well, Drogar's chainmail is kind of tattered.
You're just going to take his... He's still alive and stuff, isn't he?
Still kicking around.
I'm figuring that it might be time for Drogar to step up to full plate.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Because he's getting to that point. But I know that the blacksmith... I don't think
Well, there's Embry in the... So, yeah.
I don't think the Embry's going to forge a full plate armor.
This is good, actually. A little bit of a reintroduction back into Vallaki, because it's only been days since you left, but in real time, it's actually been like a month since you were in Vallaki.
Yeah.
I think we've been
in playtime.
It's been a
You
long
left for the
time.
Abbey
Months ago.
Yeah, months ago.
Yeah.
So Embry is the blacksmith in Vallaki.
Is he still alive?
Yeah. Well, as far as you know. You haven't been back.
Did he die of old age?
He's the Jimmy Stewart motherfucker.
Right, but Embry is really more for like small
Shoeing
repairs.
horses.
Yeah.
Right, it's not.
Yeah.
He's not really a weaponsmith. He's yeah. But he in a pinch he'll do.
Yeah.
If you want some real shit, Zarya's probably your
Right,
best
Zarya is probably best. But I don't
now
wanna,
that she's back in business.
I don't want to ask too much of Zarya because she's already doing this huge thing for us. So I was thinking, where have I come in contact with something like that? And the only two things that I can think of is the suit of armor from the house,
Which is gone now.
which is gone now.
Just Strahd's.
It walked. It walked.
This close to
Its ass.
de-spelling.
It walked its ass out.
And walked its ass out.
We hit it so well, too.
I don't know how they found it, We put it right in the fireplace.
Never
It's like it almost just got up and walked away.
I
Son of a
wanna
bitch.
help introduce Vasilka to the Blue Water, and then if the Resistance is still working on it there, I want to say hi to the Lady Resistance.
The Lady Resistance.
And Irina. But that's really all I have to do in town. If I don't think we have time. If we're trying to make a pit stop and then hit the road, we don't have time for anybody to make anything.
No, absolutely not. Which is why I was thinking about the Baron having. He has no use for it anymore. You know what I mean?
I could ask Lydia Petrovna.
No, she's already grief-stricken as it is. I don't want to bother her for anything.
I've changed my mind. The only kind of medium armor that I could get that would give me a bump to my AC would be disadvantage on stealth check. So I'm good. Because unarmored defense is 10 plus dex plus con.
So you get that con bonus too.
Yeah,
What are you at, 16?
14. My dex is really low.
What is it, +1?
It's +1, yeah. So there are armors that I could get that would be 14 plus 1, I'd get a 15, but then I would get disadvantage on stealth checks for 1 AC.
Yeah.
Well,
You're so
listen,
strong anyway.
Yeah, just cast shield of
we already
faith on
got
me.
one disadvantaged stealth check as it is.
Yeah, but I don't want to be another one. So just cast shield of faith on me every once in a while.
All right,
Okay, cool.
I can do that.
I'll rely on you. I'll rely on my friend. We'll defeat Strahd with the power of friendship.
Or whatever.
Yes,
Perhaps it was
That's
the
always
friends
been
we
the
made
plan.
along the way.
That's true.
Yeah, so I think Drogar's fine. I think he's going to stop. He's going to pleasantries. He's going to stop about, talk to people. He's going to, cast guidance on a couple people, give bless to some of the people that are there.
Kiss a couple babies.
Okay.
Are we setting off on a lovely adventure?
I do still want to buy my rope. But
Rope.
I don't need armor for now.
Yeah.
Because,
Were you going to say
when
something else, Tom?
When we level up.
No, that's all
bonus.
I wanted to say. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Okay, let's see what happens.
I apologize for not having more to say.
Or for interrupting at all, because it wasn't really that important. It was just, I just wanted you to all be in my head with me, because that's what I was picturing.
Because it's a big place.
It's big, empty, and lonely.
Let's see how many you don't.
Send help.
We're all very sad.
I have to do. Sorry, I'm doing morale calculations.
Yeah.
No, because the other thing that
We're
was...
still. I think. What are we only? We're only down 1 gem now. We got 1 gem left to
Correct.
get.
Yeah.
So you get inside the walls of Vallaki, and maybe what's it like? I mean, that was tense. So what's like getting into the walls like? Paint me a picture.
I think as we get in, if there's like this, I'm chomping at the bit. Winnie is like looking around and is about, and I think she if you're talking to Lars or something, she's gonna go and tug on your robe.
Oh, yes. Wait.
Are we good? I want to go to the blue water. Can I run?
Yes, absolutely.
And I think that she'll kind of slip through if there's any crowd forming. She's going to slip through, and she's power walking at first, and then she's little kid walking with straight arms really fast, and then she takes off like at a full sprint to get to the blue water.
As you make your way inside, people are starting to kind of congregate, but you're so low to the ground, Winnie, that like people look right over you.
Just kind of sneak through legs.
Yeah, you just kind of.
As she's running off, I'm like, oh, why don't you take? Oh.
Pasha crawls out of your arm pauldron. Just like, do you have you have a shoulder plate, right? I've just been picturing him kind of like.
I do, right there.
Perfect. I've been picturing him like taking up residence inside of your shoulder plate as a bat.
Ooh, it's nice and warm in here.
Yeah, so he kind of crawls out and like lifts off into the air and follows Winnie down the street.
I stop and I turn around and I run back and I say, Vasilka, come with me.
Great. Oh yeah. So also, so we have Vasilka. Dimitri is also still with you.
Great.
Yes.
Oh,
is there anyone else? Pasha, is there anyone else that we have with us that I have forgotten?
Dimitri, Pasha, Vasilka, and
I think
us.
that's it, right?
Yeah.
You have a lot of friends.
We don't have Zuleika
and
with
Desi.
us.
And no, Zuleika's still with you.
We have Zuleika with us.
We have Zuleika? Oh my God.
Jesus.
How is she behaving in here?
See, this is what I'm saying. The time is yours.
Dimitri,
Goodness.
we're going to the blue water. Do you need a minute or do you want to come with?
I'll catch up with you.
Okay, so then I think the blue water contingent is me, Vasilka, and Pasha running to the blue water.
I think that's fair.
Okay.
And Kaz, but she's not running. She's walking.
I'll turn
She's
to
going at her own pace.
Vasilka and I'll go, Vasilka, if you're in need of rations or a drink, perhaps you'd like to...
Oh, I don't eat.
All right.
I also have advantage on death saving throws. I can't explain it.
Well, if you'd like to smell some of the loveliest smells you've ever smelled, go with Winnie.
Indeed, I very much look forward to my new vocation.
And off they go. Great. For the rest of you, kind of unpacking and staying by the cart. Yeah, a bit of a crowd begins to congregate. It's nothing like the streets don't become packed or anything, but the people who do see you, who are milling about, guards, and then people just kind of going about their business. You see several people with like tool belts strapped around their sort of midsections, hammers and chisels and things of that nature hanging off, which you've never seen before, which is maybe exciting. But yeah, people, they seem like it's a little like, you see like clusters of people, some maybe a little nervous, a little shy, being like, oh my God, that's them, that's them, they're back. And then others come up to you offering hands, hoping for like, anything really. It's like seeing celebrities at this point. Yeah. You know what I mean? So some come up to you and just looking for a handshake or a hello or a how do you do. Very different reception than you've received in the past. Yeah. A group of children come up to you, Drogar, led by Milovaj's two younger brothers.
Yes.
Kind of come running up to you. Drogar, you're back! And they cry. They start like kind of climbing up you. Yeah.
Where did you go? I can't reach you. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. And so this group kind of gathers up around you. So
I think Drogar will step forward and go. Good people of Vallaki, although we have been absent, know that your worries and your problems are not ignored. If there is anything that we can do to aid you while we are here for this short time, please step forward. We're here to hear your problems that need fixing.
We knew you'd return. Down with the devil. Carry on then. That kind of
Very
stuff.
good, very good, very good.
Morale seems good. Morale seems high. And people are walking around with some spring in their step, looking, anytime you've been here before, people you pass in the street, they were always looking down, right, just at the road. Now eyes are up, towards each other and towards the sky.
Anybody suffering from any ailments, or do I see anybody that's like...
Not in the crowd necessarily.
Okay.
But maybe, a village, one of the Vallakians, just in the midst of conversation comes, it was like, those that need healing are now at the rebuilt church. Lady Petrovna's done a fine job patching people up.
She's rebuilt the church.
There's still no roof on it, but we're working on it. And she's doing a crack-up job.
Will you take me there?
By all means, please follow me.
Yes. And so Drogar will follow this person to the new church.
Oh, okay, so Drogar's going to the church, off to the Blue Water. Anything else?
I think just right when we got in the gates and we're safe, I'd have a moment with Zuleika.
So great. So she has not gotten out of the cart yet. She's still kind of just sitting in the covered part of the wagon. And you can kind of make your way around to the back, and she, cracks her head up at you. Give me either a nature or a insight check.
Oh, I love those dice. No!
I
love those dice. They suck.
Yeah, we said nature or
insight, whatever you like.
That's a 12.
You've seen stressed out animals before. There's very consistent, predictable, and clear signs of distress. She's exhibiting a lot of those. She as you come around the back of the cart, she cracks her head up, her eyes are open wide, and she's kind of like hunched over. If she had like hackles, they would be up. And as you come around the back of the cart, she kind of whips her head around and says, "I'm not quite sure what to do with myself. I mean, I can't stay out there in the wilds; they'll tear me to pieces. But in here, I'm not so sure I'm much safer here."
I got a place I found that we can hang out until we're ready to move on.
Is that right?
Yeah, my friends found it.
What is it?
Just over a little ways, but I did want to apologize. Thank you for saving the little one. I'm sorry I took a swing at you.
I'm sorry I broke your bow. Sometimes you forget your own strength.
I'd say it's well deserved for you to protect the little one.
Good. Okay, well, bring me to this place, I suppose. And do you have something I could maybe cover myself with?
I'm sure I can find something, and I'll look for just like some blanket or something, just like give her like a tarp, or is there something in the...
Sure, great. Give me investigation.
Okay. But my investigation's way worse. So that's an 11.
Okay, yeah, you search 11. Great. Oh, I think we established last session that the benches inside of the wagon open up for storage.
Yes.
So you kind of search through those. And you find like a bundle of raincoats. What looks like, presumably, because this used to be the wagon that the Mardikovs would transport their wines in. So you find some like what looks like just like covers and shawls that are meant to keep out the rain.
Yeah, so I'll just grab which one I think fits the best and bring it out to her, and then I'll be like, Sasha can lead the way for you.
She's got good instincts, that one. She trusts you. Maybe I can too.
We've been through a lot together. I trust her too.
A good sign. Very well. Lead the way.
And then, he'll take him. I imagine there's like a little wooded area that Posh and Sasha had found. And like...
Outside of the city?
Is there one in the city or just
Not in
outside?
the city, no.
Okay, I guess then is there just like a kind of safe place? It's close to the walls, but like just outside the city.
It's tricky. Well, now I'm not...
Actually,
it's tricky
right
at this
now,
point, right?
okay.
Because the pack is out there.
So... All right, You're right. So instead, do I have just like, is there like a quiet place that like maybe is there like, oh no, like what's the quietest place of town?
Honestly, Sasha usually stays in the stables behind the Blue Water, and there's not a lot of traffic through there.
Okay.
That's probably like the most private, quietest space that you can think of.
Okay, so we'll rewind what I said to make taking her to the stables make sense. So then I'm like, I have a quiet place I like to hang out. Sasha and I like to hang out or whatever. So then, I'll just bring her to the stables.
Yeah, so she throws on this big sort of like rain cloak, putting the hood up over her, which kind of comes down and like rests just above her eyes, like Strider in the Fellowship of the Rings, and she follows you. Yeah. So you're off to the Blue Water as well. Awesome.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Not a lot. Just Kat, like, as we pull into town and everything, and there's all the crowd running around, I think Kat is just like ignoring everything. Like it's been a long time. She's very tired. I think she's trying to exude like not necessarily "don't fuck with me" energy, more like, "Hey, love y'all."
Tiptoe time.
Don't love y'all. Don't talk to me. What is tiptoe time?
It's maybe a long story. It came out of like a devising process we were doing at the Wilma, but now tiptoe time means like I can't talk to people right now. I need a minute for myself.
I totally get you. At my job, we call it heads down time. That's like I'm coding. Don't talk to me.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
no ill will towards you. Just don't talk to me.
Okay.
So yeah, I think she's just sort of trying to exude that energy. Like the cart pulls in, she grabs whatever packs and whatever she needs to bring to the blue water. She sees like the blue water contingent sort of power walk off and follows. And like if people try to approach her, she'll just sort of like lay a sort of like a kind hand on them, just like pat a shoulder and then just walk on. But,
A few people do, but they read your energy, I think.
Yeah.
They read that energy, and you make your way to the
She
blue
goes
water.
and doesn't stop until she sat at the bar with a mug of ale in her hand.
All right, let's cut over to the blue water then. Winnie arrives first. Running. Kasha
She's been running for the past 5 minutes.
Sasha flapping his little wings, following after you, and a couple people are like, "Well, you don't see bats in the daytime very often." But yeah, you make your way to the blue water. The time is yours.
Yeah, she's getting very excited as she runs, and she's like starting to smile and like, and then I'll like bust in. And then I'm looking around for Danica and Erwin. Danica and or Erwin.
You bust in. You don't see Danica or Erwin, but you do see Irina. She sat at the bar, and as the door kind of crashes open, she whips her head around her sort of auburn hair, kind of like whirling out like the tail of a dress. And she sees you, and her face lights up. You're back! And she gets up and like runs across and like goes down on her knees and wraps you up in her arms. She's like, "Oh, sister, you've been gone for so long. I'm so glad you're all back. Is everyone okay?"
Everybody's okay. Do you know that I almost got my eye stolen?
What?
And we also fought werewolves. And also, I have a new friend here who. This is Vasilka. What has been going on here? What's new with you?
Oh my god, yeah, and so Vasilka comes in behind you and is sort of just standing awkwardly. She kind of has to like, this is a new place for her, so she has to learn it, right? So she's kind of like, she puts her hands on the sort of door frame and like feels her way inside. Oh, yes, so lovely to meet you.
And I'll rush over to Vasilka and I'll like grab one of Vasilka's wandering hands. And I'll walk her over and I'll say, "Vasilka, this is my friend Irina."
Goodness, well, any friend of Winnie's is more than welcome here. It's so lovely to meet you, Vasilka. My name is Irina. What a pleasure. And Vasilka says, "Oh, yes, what manners and charm. Pleasure to meet you." And they kind of start doing like little like fancy folk bits to each other, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Great.
that's nice.
At which time I think Kaz will
Yeah,
also
a few minutes
arrive
later, you hear,
along
like,
with...
the cling cling. I assume there's a bell on the door. I don't know why. I don't know if we've ever said that before, but I just hear one right now. And yeah, Kaz walks in. It's new. There's a bell on the door now. Yes,
It's new. It's new. Yeah.
In that case, she opens the door.
Ding-a-ling-ding.
Here's the bell and stabs with a spear. Oh, sorry. Is Mark behind the bar?
Yes, he is.
All right, walks right up, doesn't even say a word, sits down heavily, and just like points at the tap for whatever wine is tapped.
Do you know, it's so good to see. We're really developing a language, aren't we, Cass?
I always appreciate when that happens because when I'm in the sort of mood that I'm in, I can just come in and not have to say any words.
Well, I won't tell you how good it is to see you. I'll just fill up a glass and that should say it all. And he kind of starts to go.
You are speaking said language.
He goes and busies himself.
Great, let's cut to that then. We're headed to the blacksmith.
Yep.
Yeah, you make your way through the city, and yeah, you come to the shop, which you know so well. The time is yours.
I hate this guy. And I'll knock on the door and I'll walk in.
My favorite customer. What can I do you for?
Good to see you again, my friend. Yes.
Inside check.
Good to see that.
Sense motive?
Good to see that coin purse you got round your swatch. What can I do you for?
Do you happen to have a longbow that I could buy from you?
What's with the long bow? So, anyway.
Oh no.
Well, let me see what I got in the back. And he kind of trundles off and, into the back of the shop, and you hear like a cacophony of clashing and clanking.
Horseshoe flies out.
Yeah. God damn it!
Dust cloud, yeah.
He sticks his head back out. I got a short one. I could tape 2 of them together.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Real quick, what's the difference mechanically between a short and a long bow?
it's
It's just damage. A short bow's a D6 instead of a D8.
Oh.
Okay.
But you would still get all your bonuses.
So
to it.
shoot it twice.
It's still dex-based, yeah.
You just max damage less.
Alright,
It's up to you, man. You also gotta have
Okay.
you gotta have a crossbow that could
He
back a fucking
goes-
punch.
He also may be able to make some silver arrows for you.
he goes, alright, how much you want for it?
A fine short bow. You'll send arrows shooting up with the force of an angry god.
A fine short bow that you didn't even know you had.
Well, now that I see it, it's a real good one. Now that I see it and you want it, it's a best damn short bow Barovia's ever seen.
I'm sure it is, Emery. Give it to me.
I'll let it go for 1.
1 gold?
100.
Oh, my God.
That's the Barovia tax.
The first time someone in Barovia has ever said, give it to me, dude. What do you want?
And then Artemis will look at Emery and just be like, you know what? Don't come to me when your shop goes out of business. And I'll turn around and start walking out.
Yeah, suit yourself. I won't. I stay here mostly.
Who knew Emery was
get
the
out,
first capitalist in Barovia?
And he'll just leave.
Yeah.
Spend 100 gold for a short bow.
Okay. Yeah.
In the afterlife, Grumsh has a special punishment for war profiteers.
Yeah.
That does seem like Grumsh.
That's a very grumsh kind of thing, yeah.
Forte.
It would take, is there a possibility of me making myself a longbow?
Sure.
Like, how long would that take?
Do you want to try it?
Yeah.
You'd probably have to head outside of the city to do so.
I'll get back with the group and I'll see when my boy Pasha wants to come on a trip with me.
Okay, great. Let's cut to the church first, and then we'll get back. So you're heading back to the Blue Water?
Yeah.
Great.
I imagine I'd take Zuleika to the stable and kind of rest her
Drop her
down.
off. Yeah.
And Drogar will unclasp his cloak.
Yeah. But so you get to the stables and open up the doors, and she makes their way in. There's no other horses in there. If you bring Desi too, she has her spot now. So Desi just kind of
I imagine that. I'll imagine that we
clops her
actually
way
take
in
the
and-
cart and.
Sure. Drogar, you drive the cart around so she can stay in the cart. That's great.
Right.
That's
And
great.
we
That's
also
great.
put it in the same place, like next to the Blue Water, right?
Yeah,
like,
right.
The same place that Drogar fell
Yeah,
that one time, right?
Yeah. So,
we,
you
set
bring it
all up.
around to the back. You unhitch Desi. She just kind of clops her way into the. She knows her. She knows her place now. She has her favorite stall.
Yeah.
So she makes
Goes
her
right
way
to the
in.
oats.
And so Zuleika kind of like steps up and looks around and like, is that new straw?
Yes, it's not much, but it's dry and
This place is nice.
the roof is thatched well.
This'll do.
Right. Should you need anything at all?
I won't.
Well, if you do, the Blue Water next door will be more than happy to feed you, clothe you, whatever you may need.
I'll be fine. Thank you.
Well, should you need anything, I'll be at the church right up the road.
And he points to, I guess, the church with scaffolding attached to it and no roof.
You would have walked by it actually. I think
On the
if
way?
you're coming in from the west, you would have walked by it.
Right.
So
right,
yeah,
because
you
it's in
saw
the
it.
dead center. Yeah.
It's not bad. It's like the walls are finished. The roof is like it's got like beams over it. Just needs to be like properly thatched.
So he'll just point to the church because it's within eyesight.
If you need me, and, well,
I'm sorry I was so upfront about receiving your help. I just didn't have a lot of options.
you know, Zuleika, this is not the first time that we've encountered somebody in Barovia that has been wary of our aid. We understand we are strangers in a strange land. We know not your customs. We know not how your warlords have ruled for centuries. However, the only thing that we can do is be honest with each other and show you through our actions that we are here to help.
You're not the first sort I thought I could trust and ask for help before. I've been burned.
Yes. Well,
So, if you can extend to me the same grace, I'll try to be as honest as I can.
consider it done. If I were you, I would step into this building next door and ask for an Irwin. He has a mean soup that would warm the soul.
What's it made of?
Ask what's in it. Damn it.
Well, That's the surprise.
Oh no.
God damn it. I'll think about it. Thank you.
Drogar has a moment, thinks better, and goes,
On second thought,
They find bread.
This is going to come up. It's absolutely going to come up.
it is. I wish I had thought better about it. On second thought, perhaps the fresh baked bread and maybe some of the cheese would do you so well.
I'll be fine for them all. I appreciate it.
Right. Well, you know where to find me.
and Drogar will
Great.
Be like,
Cool.
And as he's walking out, he's like, God damn it, you idiot. I just suggest the soup.
Yeah.
Excellent. Then let's say we all are reconvening back at the Blue Water now at this point, right? Because you were headed back too. Great. So at this point, let's say.
But I'm going to the church.
Oh, you're going to the church. Great. Let's do that then.
Yes.
So you make your way through you make your way through the town. And you come back to the new church. Yeah. The it's actually quite nice. The old one. I mean, you got a glimpse of it before it erupted into flames and death.
To put it lightly.
It was pretty run down.
It was worn down.
Yeah, it was pretty run down. This is actually quite nice. It's the walls are a really sheer kind of cold white, and yeah, stepping inside, it's you know, since the roof isn't finished yet, you get these sort of like beams of light, as it were, as much as you can get in Barovia. Yeah, right, kind of spilling through the beams of the roof, and it actually kind of creates a nice effect. But yeah, you walk in, and so you're familiar. It's built much the same way the first one was. You know, you kind of come in, and there's long rows of pews and an altar at the far end. And up there, you see Lady Petrovna, still all in black. And she has like a shroud, you know, she has that kind of like...
the veil.
The veil, the mourning veil over her face. And she's still just dressed all in black. And you can see her at the far side of the altar, standing in front of the, podium. Kind of like arms spread, palms raised up to the sky. And you see four folks kneeling in front of her, like heads bowed, holding up their hands in the same kind of way. You know, it's not a coming together like you see in a Christian church. It's palms out, open up towards the sky.
Accepting.
Yeah.
Open to
Kind
acceptance.
of channeling, you know.
So Drogar will step in and take a knee and just kind of bow his head and accept whatever light is in the room. And then he will step forward and he will walk all the way up to the front pew and just like he puts his mace down and he just kind of like leans on his mace and watches. He's watching this blessing ceremony, this prayer of sorts.
Great.
Because this is new to him. He doesn't know the ways of the Morning Lord, and Drogar is very interested in all forms of the light, you know? So like anybody who comes forward and says like, this is my prayer. It was the same thing with the Deva, right? It's like, what is your light that you speak of, you know?
Give me a perception check.
Yeah. That is a 15.
Great. So you kind of come in, and as you kind of sit down, you seem like you're kind of able to catch that sort of tail end of this little business that's going on. You just see her softly chanting, "Yet though we may flow in different directions, spring we all from the same source. The light that fills each of us is the same, though the light bounces off all of us in different ways."
Is there like a final like amen? Is there something that they kind of say that's like
Ilia Senea Zenobia.
And Drogar's like, Zenobia. He's
Ilia.
like trying to piece the kind of like he doesn't know the language, but he's like trying to piece it together a little bit, and then he catches Zenobia. He's like, okay. Yes.
Ilia Senea Zenobia. Coming to the end of this little ritual, the four pick themselves up, bow deeply, and turn and start to kind of file out.
And Drogar will kind of just sit back. I imagine like an old man with his hands on his cane. Like that's kind of how Drogar looks with his mace.
And he just goes, "That was a lovely prayer, Lady Petrovna."
And she kind of, slowly, flowingly kind of like lifts her head up and moves it around to come and place on you. And her eyes like light up a little bit. And she just sort of like slowly nods her head.
It is good to hear your voice again. I know this past month has been hard for you, and I cannot hope to aid or mend the pain that has been brought to you. However, you are doing great work here. These people,
And he like gestures back, and I imagine they like their center is lifted, after
Yeah,
the prayer.
the folks sort of filtering out, you see like a lift in there.
Elated, right?
It's just, see this. All we saw when we entered this land were bowed heads and defeat. You are an agent of the light.
She again kind of strikes that pose and just bows her head, and you hear a voice come up from behind you, Drogar. She only speaks the good word. And you turn around and Milovaj is there, and he's got like he's like decked out in like carpentry kind of accoutrement. He's got a hammer hanging from one side and a bunch of nails in a pouch on the other, right? And yeah.
He's a little sweaty, but in a
He's a
fun
little
way.
sweaty, but in a good way.
In a saucy kind of way.
Yeah, you turn around and he's like wiping the sweat from his brow.
You bastard!
He's just got a loose fitting linen shirt running down that's
Campbell,
like
if that grin could get any larger.
Listen, I like to identify the husbands I might have had if I had never left Prince George County, Virginia.
Drogar will look back and go, Milivoj!
Drogar.
My.
Indeed. Still breathing.
Yes. It is a good thing that we stopped that rope from hanging, isn't it? Otherwise, it seems we'd be without a roof.
Well, we're still without one for the mole, but I'm working on it.
How goes it?
Very good. City's changed. People look at each other. There's a hope that there's never been before. And it's a delicate thing. We're all scared. It's, you can see it in each other's eyes as we pass by. We're all scared it's about to go up in flames again, but, we're all right.
Yes. But is it not exciting?
Oh, tremendously so.
Yes.
There's a chance we all could die at any moment, but it does give a thrill.
But you're free.
Working on it.
The fear is gone.
Well,
For now.
working on it.
Yes.
Anyway, it's good to see you all back. You've been on quite the whirlwind.
Yes. We have been to and fro. Well, now we are headed in a different direction. We have liberated... Well, not liberated, but we have gained the aid of the city of Kresk.
So I heard,
Yes.
bringing the Rangers out of retirement. Good on you.
Well, we've come into a bit of a debacle with the werewolf tribe.
I imagine that's the only way to interface with such people.
Yes. It is proving difficult, but much like Kresk, much like Vallaki, we have a strategy that we think will work.
Well, I'll leave the heroics to you.
Yes. But before you
I'll
go...
stick with the roof.
Before you go to the roof, Lady Petrovna, please, your hand, and Milivoj, your hand.
Lydia turns her head again to you. She had kind of like floated back to the podium and was sort of seeming to be organizing some things, but again, she lifts her head up and kind of glides over again and holds out a hand. Milivoj does the same.
So Drogar grabs both of their hands and is going to cast, for flavor purposes, Bless.
Great.
And essentially he's going to take a knee, and when taking a knee, he is the same height as them now.
Sure,
They're
yeah.
like all on the same level, right? And so
Yeah, I buy that. I think Milivoj is a short king.
yeah.
I think he is. I think he's.
Listen, most carpenters are, man.
I think
let me
he's
tell
like.
you.
I think he's like 5'7", 5'8".
I love that.
Yeah.
That's not even that short.
No, I guess it's not. I guess
Like
it's
an
not.
average.
I guess. Well, 5'6",
I think
5'7".
average.
There you
I
go.
think average is actually 5'7".
Oh,
Yeah.
great. Let's call him 5'5", 5'6".
Man, and then in North America.
Yeah. Let's call him like 5'5", 5'6".
So he's my height, 5'6".
Great. Perfect. Yeah. Great.
For those of you wondering, now you know. We sit down, we take a knee, and Drogar will kind of just close his eyes for a moment and go,
The great all-encompassing light, hear my prayer. Though the clouds are thick and your vision is not as strong as it once was, I know that you seek those that serve your purpose and require your aid. Thus us three stand cordial here in a temple to you. Many names dost thou have. This time the Morning Lord it is, and thus I require your aid and guidance, so be it in the name of the light.
So Drogar will squeeze their hands, and you'll see just this. It's almost like that, like the voice of like a Baroque choir, kind of echoes out, and this gold just kind of goes through their hands, and it creates this like triangular kind of circle, and there's just this little light that surrounds them. And I don't know what that does.
Well, that was amazing. Give me Saving throw doesn't feel right.
So like
Give me a religion check.
20.
I'm going to give you, for these 3,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a cast of aid. Your hit points are going to increase.
5.
3 creatures within range. Great. Your hit points go up by 5. And that's not temporary hit points. That's like up to 5. And that's for the next 8 hours.
Holy shit.
So you can, like, if you lose that 5, you can get it healed back.
So my max hit points is increased by 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you like, for you and Milovaj and
shit.
Lydia Petrovna, I'm gonna give you a cast of aid. That was really
That's
cool.
great.
Thanks, buddy.
That was really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so he does that, and I think he puts a hand on each of their shoulders and he just goes, right. And like as if nothing happened, he just kind of looks at Lydia and goes, as you were. And he looks at Milovaj and he goes,
Well, I don't know. I think I saw the storm coming in. You might want to get up there.
and just kind of like turns and
I'll get on it post haste. And he rushes off, pulling the hammer out of his belt. Yeah.
and just kind of like
Putting some nails in, like holding some nails in his teeth.
climbing up the rungs of the ladder.
That boy, his back looks broad.
Campbell is sweating over there.
You bet your sweet bippy he does.
Okay.
And that's it. And I'll head to the blue water from there.
Cut back to the blue water then.
And then he was like, she has to have eyes so that she can be Strahd's wife. And then he was going to take out my eyes, and Zulika was there, but it wasn't her idea. And then I cast this spell that I had never cast before, and I busted out of the chair. And I had this like new friend named Othro, who was like partly a donkey and partly a dog. But we got everybody's okay now, except for the abbot. He's not okay anymore.
Winnie, how brave you are. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Oh my, what danger, and you just burst yourself free. You give me a lot of courage, Winnie. I don't think I would have been able to make the climb out of that tower if it wasn't for you.
Oh gosh, okay. That makes me feel really good.
And here you are freeing yourself. Very proud of you.
Oh, thank you. Oh gosh. How's it going here with the resistance stuff?
Quite well.
Yeah?
Yes, indeed. You'd have to talk to Danica to learn a bit more, but things are going...
Is she here?
Yes, she's,
Okay.
But things are good. Yes. I think we're all just waiting for the other shoe to drop. I can't imagine he'll let us get away with this for too long, controlling as he is. But morale is high.
Good. Okay. Do you guys have like a next thing that you have planned?
Indeed. Danica's been talking about her grand strategy. She hasn't talked about much else except her grand strategy, but it's probably better you hear it from her.
Okay. Is Erwin in the kitchen?
Indeed he is.
Okay. I'm gonna go say hi to Erwin, and I'm gonna see if maybe we can give Vasilka a job. Mm-hmm. And then I'll go say hi to Danica. Do you want to come with me when I go say hi to Danica?
Of course.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Yes, indeed.
And then I'll go behind. I'm taking Vasilka by the hand. Hi, Ismark!
Hello, Winnie. I hope you not too much trouble out there on the road. I hope.
It's crazy.
Oh, okay.
We're being chased by werewolves now.
What?
I'm almost 12. Did you know? On my 12th birthday,
Yes?
I think I should have a glass of wine. What do you think, Ismark?
That is a decision the Drogar should make, I think.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Can I go in there?
Yeah, but by all means, have your run at the place.
And I swing open
there she goes.
the kitchen door. Erwin!
Who is that?
It's me, Winnie!
Is that my favorite little jumping bean?
And I'll jump over to him.
Yeah.
It's me from before.
Oh, Winnie. Welcome home. You have been gone so long. It is a relief to see you back. Well, metaphorically speaking. It's good to have you back.
Yes, we have many stories to tell, but actually we're trying to make a pit stop, and then we're trying to get back on the road.
Oh, busy as always.
Busy. You can ask Irina about me almost losing my eyes, too.
Listen, this is a bad habit we're developing.
I know. This is a trend. Okay, but speaking of which, this is Vasilka.
Oh. Well, hello, Vasilka.
And
Hello.
I'll kind of like, if needed, I'll guide their hands together.
Erwin says, welcome to my kitchen and my home. Any friend of Winnie and the heroes
He's deserving of a hero's feast here from my kitchen.
Well, you know, Erwin.
Huh?
Vasilka is really, really an amazing cook, too.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Vasilka is an amazing cook. And you know what? I bet you have got the kitchen all set up, or you can move around all safe. And I bet because Vasilka, you can't tell, but Vasilka, but Vasilka also has no eyes.
What?
Yeah. Vasilka also has no eyes and is also an amazing cook. You guys have a lot in common.
It's true. I've never had eyes.
Yeah.
Well,
She was gonna have my eyes. We'll talk about it later. But I thought that maybe because she is such an amazing cook and she knows like a bunch of recipes from cooking at the abbot's house, that maybe you guys could like collab.
oh.
And also maybe Vasilka could stay here maybe in exchange for helping you cook in the kitchen because she doesn't have a home anymore really.
Well, do you know something, little one? You all have been doing such a good job of making people in this valley hungry. It's easier to eat when you're not so stressed out all the time. You know, my own appetite, and he like pats his belly, has been much increased since you brought my baby boy back. So I've actually been looking for someone to help me out in the kitchen. Metaphorically speaking, you see, I can't look at anyone anymore. But
Well, if this was like job interviews, like, do you have any questions for Vasilka?
Vasilka, can you cook?
Yes, I've been for all of my 6 months of being, it's basically all I've done.
That's good enough for me!
So, Erwin, can you show Vasilka around the kitchen? And then maybe, is there a place upstairs that she could stay at night?
Ah, indeed. Come here, Vasilka. The good thing about this kitchen is I've set it up so you don't even need eyes. You just learn it like the back of your hand.
And as he says back of his head, he throws his arm out and knocks a bunch of shit off of a cabinet.
I'm sneaking out of the kitchen.
Vasilka looks at you like, what have you done?
She doesn't.
She doesn't.
That's it, I quit.
Let's cut back to Drogar heading back to the blue water. You notice, you see Dimitri standing outside. And he's kind of like standing out looking at the porch and the door a little bit nervously, and you can see he kind of like, whips up his hand and like runs it down the sleeves of his long, dark cloak and sort of tattered shirt, and you can see like dirt and grime and sludge like just lift up out of the fabrics and curl itself into like a little ball of dirt as he prestidigitates himself clean.
Nice.
But he's like doing it sort of absent-mindedly, just like kind of running it along himself, kind of nervously staring at the front of the building. The time is yours.
You know,
Sorry. I'm a little jumpy these days.
You know, Dimitri, you could arrive stark raving mad and naked, and your parents would still be happy to see you.
What? Oh, yes. That's yes. Hard to know what to say sometimes. I have many talents, Drogar, but talking is not always one of them.
I think you mean talking from the heart.
Maybe.
For you and I speak beautifully.
Well, when it is about business, you see, when it is about action, doing, taking down the devil, fighting, striving, surviving, that I can do. That I can do. Out there in the wilds, I know myself.
Yes.
I know how to be, how to act, how to behave, how to survive, how to get the most out of what I can do. But here, in the safety of the city, with family and new friends, I don't know myself. I feel 10 years old. Do you know?
I see a lot of myself in you.
You do?
Yes, you see, my younger self was so eager for knowledge and power in a positive way and action. I was so busy that even in times of calm and respite, I was busy.
I don't really know what calm feels like.
Yes, and to that, I challenge you, young man, to sit in it.
In
calm.
How do I do that?
Well,
said Trevor.
Leave me alone! Leave me alone!
Oh, the tea is spilt. What's the tea?
It's very simple, Dimitri. You do nothing.
He kind of holds up his hands and like looks around like John Travolta.
Pulp Fiction.
And he looks back at you like that.
There's no getting it right. You just do it.
Fuck, this is so much harder than magic.
Yes.
Give me an insight check, Drogar.
That's a 24.
A 24?
Yeah.
He's not telling you everything.
Oh.
But that's all you get. And then he starts to make his way into the building. There's something he's not saying. Something that's bothering them that he hasn't talked about. But yeah, he begins to make his way inside.
I grab him by the neck. No.
Okay.
So he'll walk inside, and I'll kind of look after him as I see him, and Drogar will, unknowing, just kind of shake his head downward and go,
These young kids. What are we going to do with them?
and just walk in after him. Yeah.
So then I think that then is a great. We all reconvene in the tavern of the Blue Water.
Yes.
Right. We're all down on that first floor. Right. I think we've all congregated there essentially. Right.
I think so.
Yeah. So the time is yours.
I was going to go up to visit Danica in the war room with
Great.
Irina.
Let's do it. Yeah. Okay. You do so. You head on up into. I think you've only ever gone up to the rookery through the boys' room. So, is that what you want to do?
Sure.
Is there a new entrance?
Because I've been up there the one time with the boys early pre-podcast. No, maybe pre-podcast.
Maybe it was
Podcast. Yeah, right
Yeah.
before.
And then
it was at Tyler's house. I remember that one
Yeah.
where we played that.
We have
one where you-
TikToks of it. We don't
Yeah,
have
yeah.
Yes.
With the brain spiders, and then you
Brain
slingshotted the trap door. It was really
Yes.
cool. Yeah.
So I've been up there once, and then the other time that we actually went up to the war room and they briefed us all.
Holy shoot.
Oh yeah, I guess they would have taken you through the main bedroom for that one, so you know. You can either go through the boys' room or the master bedroom. Which would you prefer?
I'll just go through the boys' room for see if they got new toys.
Great. You head into the boys' room. Both Brom and Brea are there, and as you open the door and make your way inside, both of them, at first look a little like a little shaken, but then they see that it's you, and both of them just go, Winnie! You guys! And they hop off their beds and they rush over, and they just start bombarding you with questions. Where have you been? Did you die almost? We got new toys.
I did die almost.
What?
And I saw werewolves and I saw vampires flying.
Winnie!
And I was in a burning carriage and I was in a fire.
Oh my
And then
gosh.
I almost drowned. What toys you got?
They go over. Oh, we got this new one. It's really great. He brings out it's Piccolo, the little monkey. What? Look at this! And they like take his head off and like squeeze his belly, and a little bit of water, like red-colored water, squirts out. Isn't that great?
This is terrible.
And they like squeeze it if you were, and it's almost like a water gun after you take its head off. It like
That is so gross.
got you. Give me a dex save.
Oh no.
Oh no!
10.
It splashes on you.
Ah, dang it.
Not the bloody Piccolo water.
Gosh.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Uh-oh.
Shit just got real serious. all of a
Yeah,
sudden.
this tone changed real quick.
12.
You remember the abbot's blood leaking out of his mouth as he lay there dying in his final moments before Kaz put the spear through his throat.
Whoa. Ooh, it's cold in here.
What?
I'm gonna go visit your mom really quick.
Okay. Are you okay?
Is Pasha with me?
Yeah. He's still a bat. He's like hitched himself with his little bat fingers to the back of your dress.
Oh, do you want to see something cool?
Yeah.
And I'll hold out my hand and I'll give Pasha a little to like
He
in bat form.
flits around and like grabs your finger with his feet and hangs upside down from your finger. Both of them in unison. Whoa.
This is my friend Pasha. Pasha, this is Brom and Bray. Do you want to hang out for a minute? And I'll kind of like, and then maybe
And he
he'll-
starts flying around the room, and they both start just like chasing after him as he
Okay.
flies around.
Okay, and then I'll kind of like leave them to it and go on ahead.
Okay, yeah. You slingshot that trapdoor again, and the like fire escape ladder comes down. Yeah, and you're free to climb up.
Okay, I'll go up with Irina.
So you both make your way up. Give me a perception check.
17?
As you make your way up, you hear Danica's voice. I'm not doubting his efficacy, but he used to work for him. Is it really the best to send him into the bowels of the city to try and have him root things out? And then you pop your head up. Ah! And they all kind of turn. It's Danica is talking. It's just Danica and Rudolph up here right now. And they kind of both turn their heads to you. And Danica gets a warm smile across her face, and Rudolph goes, Mein Wunden Kaisen! You are back!
Yeah, wait, can I call you a cool word too?
Whatever you like.
Wunderbars. Okay, cool.
I've never had a better nickname.
You sweet queen.
What are you guys working on?
Oh, resistance business. Nothing you need to trouble with yourself with. Are you all back?
We're all back. We're all here. Everybody doing their business, and now everybody's downstairs. If you will come say hi to everybody.
This is good. Danica, put this on hold, perhaps?
Well, I was gonna come and ask. I was asking Irina before.
At which point her head pops up above the trapdoor as well. Yes, I see.
And if there's anything that it's not safe to say downstairs, I was going to ask you guys just kind of like, what's your next plan?
Danica gets sort of a cheeky grin on her face. Looking for a status update, are we, General?
Kind of a little bit. Well, we're maybe going to try something crazy here coming up. And I'm still kind of trying to figure out if it's the right thing.
Anything we can help you with?
I don't think so. We're going to try and do a sneak into Strahd's house. We've had this run-in with the werewolves for a minute now, and we actually made friends with one of the werewolves who doesn't want to hang out with Strahd anymore. And so we're going to go on a mission into Strahd's castle that will hopefully make it so the werewolves are not on Strahd's team.
You're going back to Ravenloft?
Yeah, it's a crazy plan.
Are you sure that's wise?
No.
Okay, far be it from me to criticize your hero business. Just be careful.
Yeah.
Huh? Well, let's all convene. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're back. Much has happened since you've been gone. Come. Let's gather.
And so, do we all head down?
Yeah, let's say that.
I'll pick up Pasha from Brom and Bray.
You come back down the ladder from the trapdoor, and they're just absolutely screaming, chasing him around the room. And as soon as you come back down, he like dive bombs through the sky and like comes up and like nestles himself, like makes a little nest in your hair to try and hide. The boys come running over with like glee on their faces, their cheeks red from running around.
Do you guys remember the brain spiders?
Not the brain spiders,
No! And I'll do thaumaturgy so it sounds like
And they go running.
Spiders.
And they go tearing off.
And I'll say, Pasha, do you know how to turn into a spider? And I'll hold out my hand and see if he like turns into a spider.
So yeah, he kind of crawls out of your hair as a bat, and he like slinks his way down your arm and up, and he's resting as a bat in your palm. And then you can see his little like bat head swiveling back and forth.
I'll kind of bring him over closer to Brom and Bray while this is happening.
And he like splays his wings and his little back legs out really far, and kind of like twists them in a way that like maybe bat appendages shouldn't go. And then he pops and he's like this enormous tarantula.
Okay, I think Winnie didn't think this all the way through. And she also goes like,
He flies up and they all scream. All three of you go running in all directions. And in the air, Pasha like turns back into a bat and like flies around.
yeah, and we like run around for a second, and while they're both kind of still screaming and Pasha's like around, I'm kind of already crawling down like, bye!
Yeah. And you go. Great, awesome. So then let's say we all convene, the whole party, in the Blue Water.
Yeah.
Everyone's back together, and warm welcomes back are exchanged with everybody. If anybody does anybody have anything in particular to a certain NPC that they want to?
Ismark!
Yeah.
A round of the champagne de la stomp.
All right, you are stomping now.
I would ask Rudy for any information that he has about the history of the werewolves, just because I asked Zuleika about it before, about were the werewolves always hooked up with Strahd, or what started it?
An interesting question. I do not know much about them. They're antagonistic, I know. They serve in, they're part of the Devil's forces, as far as I know. But whether they have always been, I cannot say. I knew they have largely been an independent people. Largely staying out of the affairs of the denizens of this valley until Strahd started making use of their talents, shall we say.
You don't think there's anything about them that's they're bad, they can't be friends?
I don't think there's anything about anyone that says they're bad.
I agree. Do you know, I don't have this question fully formed, but is there anything that werewolves really need, or I don't know. I'm thinking about my hometown. We really loved growing plants. We were really sad if we weren't able to grow plants. And we need sunshine, and we like nature and stuff. Is there anything the werewolves need? Maybe we could get it for them so they'd be happier?
It's difficult to say, Winnie. Without having talked to them much personally, and without having talked to any historians, we don't know much about them. The way they live. You probably know more than I do at this point, having been there.
Okay.
But if I were to look and ask what it is everyone needs, I would say space. A place to call your own, to live the way you determine.
Yeah, and nobody bug you.
Yeah. I think that is what everyone in this valley is looking for.
Yeah. Do you know anything about a secret entrance in Strahd's castle through the moat?
No. Did you find one?
Maybe.
What?
Can you tell us anything about the moat? What's in there?
I don't know. Sickly green mist. I wouldn't stay long.
Okay. Well, everybody, we are planning to go to Strahd's house in through a secret entrance in order to rescue a werewolf named Emil, who was surrendered to Strahd by a bad werewolf named Kirill, so that hopefully we can get the werewolves on our side and not Strahd's side. Is there anything about this that you can already tell us is dumb?
Well, I would have said working with the werewolves was not advisable, but you seem to be already ahead of that warning. Are you sure you can trust them? This is Danica.
Well, we have one here. She's actually hanging out in the stables with Desi.
What?
Yeah. Her name is Zuleika. I did Zone of Truth on her to make sure that she's cool. Emil is her mate, and so she's got good reason to want to help us get him out.
Ah, star-crossed lovers. How romantic.
She is also in charge of the pups.
Yeah, there's a
The
bunch
children.
of kids in cages there that they're making fight each other to see which ones are the strongest. And so we gotta move fast.
Dimitri pipes up.
The next generation of werewolves.
Now, keep in mind, from our understanding, and Drogar's kind of addressing the group. I figure we're all
Yeah, we're in a quorum, I think, at this point. Yeah.
Drogar kind of
We're in the corner booth.
steps in and just goes, now understand that this is not what Emil raised the pups like. This is how Cyril chooses to raise the strongest and the most vicious. From what I understand from Zuleika and Emil, the pups were raised more or less civilly under their rule.
Civilly.
The most important thing here is that the children's lives are at risk.
I concur. The best way to make any change is to convince the young.
Yes.
This is a principal moment. If it is possible for you to sway the hearts and the minds of the next generation in the pack, might even be able to turn them to allies.
Yeah.
A wonderful opportunity.
And perhaps them and the Kreskins can live in harmony. But that is a conversation for a later time. What I would like to ask is, War Party, what have you been doing recently since we've been gone? What have you discovered?
The news is good. links between cities are becoming more manageable and easier to accommodate. The roads are difficult to travel still with Strahd's beasts about, but we are starting to outfit our caravans with a bit more of a practical guard. It's hard getting the people brave enough to pick up weapons, but you have inspired much, so things are going well. The biggest problem we have right now are the remnants of Lady Water's cult. But again, we will see to it. It is important you stay on your charge.
Understandable.
Are they still within the city, or have they been doing any mischiefs?
We've been trying to root them out. Rudolph thinks it would be a good idea to get no arm. What's his name?
Isaac.
Oh my God, what a brain fart. Jesus, what a
Must be
brain
hard
fart.
running 17 different fucking characters.
Rudolph thinks Isaac would be good in this charge, although he's not yet awoken, and I am nervous. But regardless, we work towards this goal.
Is Isaac still here?
Yeah, he should be somewhere.
Is he upstairs?
Lydia comes every few days to check up on him.
Okay.
Apparently, he went through something.
Suffering the trauma that he did not.
Yeah. I'll check on him before we leave. We're gonna try and leave tonight. Are we? Are we gonna try and get cover of night and do this now?
I think it would probably be best. Does anybody disagree?
My only concern is the werewolves. We got to find a way to sneak out of the city. Should we wait till daybreak?
My thought, Dimitri perhaps up. We may have a better chance of moving through the castle undiscovered if it is during the day and Strahd is
snoozing,
napping.
That's right, daylight.
I still think it entirely unlikely that we are able to navigate his castle without him at least being notified, but a day I think gives us our best chance.
So perhaps we rest here for the night.
We'll rest here for the night. Also, just because we're going to Strahd's house and he's probably going to get mad, could y'all maybe get an extra guard around the Blue Water, where all of you and Irina are?
I would prefer it if Lars took up that watch. Perhaps Lars should be involved in the meetings as well, so that he knows how best to protect you all.
He's part of the resistance, yes. He heads up the city watch. His duties largely keep him out and about the city, but I can notify him. But I'll let him know that our heroes have advised more security around the Blue Water. I'll let him know and see what he thinks.
As long as it doesn't draw away from the outer defenses of the city. 1 or 2 troops.
I hope you saw, which are being much improved.
Yes, the chain run portcullis. It's very impressive.
Yes, thank you. Milovaj has been heading up much of the oversee of the construction of the fortifications.
Yes, we've spoke.
Something tells me Vallaki has not seen the last of Strahd's violence in all of this struggle. We want to be as prepared as we can be.
Correct. Dimitri.
Da.
We head right into the maw of the beast, and I believe now is a good time to discuss the papers that I studied that you lent.
But of course.
The castle is ever-changing, but the entrance that we seek to enter does not change. Is there a reason why?
It's difficult to say. Esmeralda turned me onto this in the first, when I visited the Abbey, as you were down in Kresk.
Can I see if Rudy reacts to that at all?
Great. Give me an insight check.
Guidance!
Can I too? I've been meaning to ask the priest.
Absolutely.
Anything at all.
No, not me either.
God damn it.
What do you got?
I look too late. I got like a, insight?
Yeah.
It's only a 10.
Same. Yeah.
10.
10 for me too.
Give it a
Come on. Ned told me to.
She's your girlfriend.
Ned told me to.
She's your girlfriend.
Nope, I don't know
nothing.
Then again,
What was it? 10?
10 and 10, yeah.
11.
10, 11.
I would. You wouldn't know because it's just me looking at him.
Okay.
His face remains sort of ironclad, but you see him grip his walking cane.
Oh.
His knuckles almost turn white.
Wow.
I don't know. The only thing that I can think of is that wherever it leads to is a place in the castle Strahd himself cannot go. This seems impossible, but maybe we will learn more when we get there.
Okay. You're coming with us, right?
I have to.
Oh, yes.
Okay. I do not think you will be able to gain admittance without me.
Okay.
Not that you are not skilled, it just, well, you'll see when we get there.
It sounds like we might need a sorcerer's touch.
Just so.
Yes. Well, there you have it, friends. We are heading into the belly of the beast to free a certain Emil.
Back to the castle, Danica pipes up. Dima, we only just got you back, and now you run to the castle again.
Duty calls, Danica.
Right, he's right, Mama. I'm back, but I'm still a part of this. Go then. Be careful, all of you.
He's really helpful. Do you know he can do a whole wall of fire?
I am sure he can do all things I cannot imagine.
Second to that of Argenvost.
Be careful, all of you. You are all family now. All of this is built on you. I don't know if it will survive without you. You take my meaning?
Well,
I'll send you a message. I'll keep you posted.
Be safe.
Okay.
and as soon as we know anything, you'll be the first to know.
Aye.
Do you guys need any help with anything while we're here?
Stay the course.
Okay.
I have plans to see through.
Okay. For the night, I have 2 little things that I would like to do before we set off at dawn.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I wanna go up and see Ezek.
Okay. Great. Excellent. Anything else anybody wants to accomplish? So yeah, is the idea to stay here the night?
Mm-hmm.
And then head out
we'll
in
get
the
a full
morning?
rest and then we'll head out. Yeah.
Okay, great. So then at this point, Erwin kind of like leans forward. Well, if we have a night before you set off on your daring rescue, what say we spend it in good fashion?
When we're over here.
Great. Okay. Then it's a night in the blue water.
Yep.
Fan-fucking-tastic. The time is yours. What do we want to do?
My friends, before we go our separate ways, I have something I'd like to ask your help with. Seems I've found myself without a bow.
Ah, yes.
Seeing as the werewolves have been following us, thinking maybe we can find a side entrance into the town. Pop out just long enough for me to grab a stick I can make into a longbow and come back into the village. But I think it's only smart that we go out as a team, and I don't.
You need a
try to do
buddy?
this on my own. Yeah, I need a squad, not just a buddy.
Squad, okay.
Squad.
Well, I'm sure Pasha could help you find the proper staff.
Yes.
Yeah. He says, having turned back into Pasha.
Pasha turned into a spider today.
Did you really?
I did. I was gross.
This is a little spooky.
Pasha, tell me, do you know if there are any yew trees that grow in this area?
You trees, me trees, we all scream for trees.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Oh dear. Can I roll for if I know what a yew tree is?
Sure.
What would I be rolling?
Nature.
14? It's my lucky number.
I don't know that you've necessarily seen any yet, but you think maybe with what the geography is, there might be some somewhere.
Well, not that I know anything about what makes a good bow, but from where I come from, most of the archers of the City Watch have yew longbows.
If I know what a yew tree is, I could maybe help you find a yew tree really fast.
Yeah, that sounds great, unless you have any better ideas, Pasha.
I think we're thinking of the same thing. I don't know the names for everything, but I know all the trees, and I know which ones have a zest in them for letting things fly.
Well, that's what we're looking for. Why don't you and Winnie work together?
I'm picking a twig out of Pasha's hair,
Oh, thank you.
and I'm snapping it, and I'm casting locate object.
Oh, so good.
What the fuck?
On a yew tree.
Yeah.
Yep, hold on, you guys, 1 second.
You guys.
You guys. Okay, and so this is like the dust. The dust cracks out of the little twig that I pulled out of Pasha's hair, and just kind of invisibly to everyone but me, it whooshes out, like falls down onto the floor of the blue water and hits the walls, and then collapses in on itself and goes out the door.
Awesome. Artemis, Pasha, like, swings his head around and looks up at you. Oh, Winnie's so cool.
Can you see that when I do that, Pasha?
What?
The like dust, the shiny dust. Can you see
Yeah.
that? You can see that.
Yeah? Should I not be able to?
Really?
What do you mean? Yeah.
You are a very, very peculiar creature.
Yeah.
Best sort of way.
Yeah.
Pasha, can you lead Artie to where this dust takes us?
Okay. Follow me! And he, like, claps his hand together and he turns into a sparrow. And he like lifts up and kind of flies out the front door.
Winnie, why don't you join them?
I was gonna. Well, that's my question. Is like, should I expedite our evening by going and checking on Ezek while you guys do this, and then catch up with you in a minute?
You can do it all. It doesn't matter.
I could always check on Ezek for you.
I want to.
It's up to y'all. If we all want to go as a pod
The plan was I wanted the squad because we're gonna have to go outside the walls.
Yeah, good chance
Full
that
squad.
werewolves might.
Squad.
Okay.
anywhere outside the city walls, it's liable that they're looking for
Okay.
you.
Yeah, they're hunting for us
Okay.
right now too. so.
I will then start racing Pasha to the dust as it.
Okay, give me that athletics check.
Yes, finish your glass. We're going outside.
Can I say too, as Pasha like buzzes off and Winnie buzzes off after him, that like Sasha comes under and just scoops under Winnie's legs and just like starts catching up to Pasha.
Yeah,
Like,
I did roll a dirty 20.
Oh, yeah! Effortlessly, you mount up on Sasha. Give me a athletics check for Sasha. Just use your wisdom plus proficiency bonus.
Okay. Oh yes, it's a natural 17, so I'm gonna say that will do.
Yeah, Sasha tears out and begins tearing down the road like the wind, and like Winnie clasped on her back, and Pasha flying overhead. You're just absolutely keeping pace as you head out of the city. Great. So is everybody going?
Yeah, we're not going to let Artie go.
Yeah, so I think we all leave and Kaz is sitting there drinking, and then like someone like already like stops and like runs back and just like grabs Kaz. Come
The
on,
glass
like,
goes.
bring your drink.
Excellent.
Grab your drink and your spear. Let's go.
You see Kaz you see like Artie's arm go into the frame, and you like yank Kaz out as her mug just like spins through the air.
Yoink.
Excellent. Great. Okay, great.
How vaudevillian.
Great. So you make your way back outside of the city to the tree line.
And if there is like a side entrance, so we don't have to go out the main gate. Because I imagine the werewolves.
There's a couple.
Watching the main gate.
There's a couple of gates in and out of the city. There's one to there's three main ones, and I think that's actually the only ways in and out. So there's one to the north, one to the east, and one to the west.
Okay, then I guess wherever is closest to the tree.
But you're making your way out. Yeah, we'll say you head north towards to the base of Mount Baratok. You reach the wood line. Give me a survival check, Artemis.
Oh boy! What die?
Or actually, let me say, you make your way into the forest, and I don't know. What's this like, Winnie? You riding on top of Sasha, sort of lead Pasha flying overhead, following your dust through the forest.
I think
what is this strange parade like?
As soon as we get out of the city walls, we'll slow down to like a little bit of a trot. And I think that Pasha is still like flying overhead, kind of checking out the surroundings, like checking out the treetops. And the dust is kind of like, now at this point we're in the forest, it'll around a tree, and it's not a yew tree.
Mm-hmm.
It'll
like
wrap
searching.
around. It's still searching.
Oh, so
through the
great.
woods. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, and then till you make your way through the forest, and it actually doesn't take all that long. But you make your way in, and you come to it. And just for reference for everybody, let's look at what a yew tree looks like.
Beautiful. And we're all on high alert, too, looking out for these werewolves as well as the tree.
It's like running a program. It's like if tree.species equals.
Yes. But yew trees that's a great choice. They look powerful and ancient, right? Like this is a yew tree.
Wow.
They fit in really well.
That's very
into
Barovian.
into the shape of Barovia.
Gnarled, long branches. Yeah.
But you come to it, and it's a really like it must be hundreds of years old, you know. Yeah, you come to this really proud yew tree in the center of the forest, and the time is yours.
This is it.
And ours will kind of like look at Pasha and be like, would you mind asking the tree if it could spare a branch for me to make a bow of?
Mm-hmm.
Pasha, would you mind also asking this tree if it likes being climbed?
All trees like being climbed. Oh. That's the secret about trees. They love being climbed.
I'm climbing this tree while you guys do work.
Mm-hmm. And he goes over and he puts his hand on it and he bows his head for a moment and he kind of like sways for a few beats. It's heard of you. They've been talking about you, the trees. They would all love to see the sun again. The new ones haven't. all I rely on is the memories of the old. I would love to help you.
We would love to help them.
Make a survival. Are you going to try and make a bow?
Yeah.
Make a survival check.
Guns.
No.
It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. What do you got?
Wait. Survival, though?
Yes.
My survival's high, my friend.
Oh, is it?
Yes. It's still a 12.
A 12. Okay. Great. Roll a d6.
Okay, 4.
It's like you 4 hours to make one.
Okay. So I met, like, does it, like, produce a branch and can I take it back into town to make it?
Sure. Yeah.
If I may argue, DM, I feel like the branch is up. And that's part of the hour.
Whoa. I think Pasha asked for a branch and it just...
But I think the tree...
the ground and was like, here, take me. I happen to be mostly in bow shape.
And Pasha like looks up at the branches and he points. That one
The perfect one is up there. You gotta go get it.
up there.
I'm already pretty up high.
Oh,
He's already up
one.
there.
no.
Time's yours.
All right, and then I think I'll say, okay, Winnie, you want to help me? And I'll start heading up.
Yeah. Okay. Give me an athletics check, Artemis.
Well, goodbye to that.
There you go.
That's okay.
You want a different one?
Sometimes it's just about avoiding the one.
Okay, hey, that's a natural 18.
Nice.
You expertly, expertly. Like, what's it like climbing the tree for Artemis? How does he go about it?
Yeah, I think it's just like second nature. He kind of like floats up there, like
Like those folks at the like rock climbing gyms when they're really
Expert
and
rock
they don't even
climbers.
use their legs, you know. They just like
Finger muscles and ankles, and they're just like monkey climbing up.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Like
yeah.
the momentum never stops. It's just like they just like keep climbing. Like they jump from one
Just
to the
go,
other.
go,
and
go,
it's just-
go, go,
They
yeah.
never, yeah.
So by
Instead
the
of like
time-
stopping and looking, they just like consistent momentum the whole
Yeah,
way.
so by the time, Winnie, you get up to the branch that Pasha had indicated to Artemis, you're right up there with her.
Wow.
Oh, hi.
And then I think Artie like finds like a way to prop himself up, and he like looks at Winnie, and he kind of like barely touches the branch, and he's like, "What do you think, Winnie?
Whoa.
This is one of the most perfect branches I've ever seen."
Give me a survival check, Artemis.
Oh God, no!
It's okay. It's okay.
Not with his luck, it's not.
Natural 20.
Nice. Well done.
Natural 20.
Yes.
Natural 20.
Read and weep. It's right there.
Yes.
So you know how sculptors often describe, they see the statue inside the block of marble, you know? You get up to the top of this tree, Artemis, and you see this branch that Pasha had indicated to you. And it's perfect. It's young enough that at its core it's still green, so it's springy and flexible. But on the outside, it's like, you know, it's got smooth bark. It's way up near the top, so it's very new. It's very green. It's very young, and you can just see you like even without removing it from the tree, you just kind of lay your hands under it, and you can just see the bow inside of it. You just see it, right? So yeah, time is yours.
Yeah, so then after like kind of taking his minute, like looking at it with Winnie, then he'll like bring out, I guess, his sword and just like take a minute, like find the best spot to chop the branch off. And just like before he does it, he'll like take a minute and be like, "Thank you, tree. I'll use this to show you the sun again." And then just one quick
Badass.
and then strap it up and make his way down.
Yeah, and Pasha, as you do so, like flies up, and he takes one of the just little twigs off of the branch that you just cut, and he takes it and he puts it onto the stub that you just had, and kind of like wedges it in, you know, to the freshly cut wood, and kind of like puts his hands over it and says a little prayer, and there's a small yellowish green light, and then like that little twig now combined, that'll come into a new branch, no problem, right? And like it never even happened. As long as you ask. As long as you ask. And you come back down, you have a really solid like length of you to craft a new bow. And yeah, it'll take you about 4 hours to do, so you can just do that overnight if you're all staying in Vallaki tonight. Awesome. All right. Yeah, and you make it back with no events. It's a night in Vallaki. It's whatever y'all want to do.
I'm going to check on Ezek.
Time is yours. Great. Okay. So you head back into the city.
Well, when he does that, I go, "Hey, everybody, you want to see a trick?"
Strahdcast features Campbell O'Hare as Winnie, Ned Pryce Iannacone as Drogar, Kay Devine-Jones as Kaz, Tyler Kanter as Artemis, and me, Trevor William Fayle, as your DM. A very special shout out to some of our longest running patrons, Jerry Thunes, Megan Yamamoto, Queen Moon, Casey, and Chelsea Wingo. Thanks for being part of the party. We couldn't do it without you. If you're not ready to support us financially, there are still plenty of ways to help us out. You can follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at Critical Fail DM, binge Madness and Mercy on our YouTube channel, and join us there every other Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time when we do live listens of new episodes of the Strahdcast. Or rate and leave us a review wherever you like to listen. Thanks, Dungeoneers, and take your day with advantage.